front door. What is going on?
Oh, ring the bell.
Oh,
There it is.
Hello and welcome to the Saku Hall Arena here in Tallinn, Estonia. It is a sold-out crowd for Europe's biggest stadium BMX competition. We've got both the street and park finals coming up tonight, and to help us with all of the action as it unfolds, we have one of the most articulate and intelligent voices in BMX joining us, Mr. Sebastian Keep, aka Baz.
Thank you, Ed. Very excited to be here. We've got 23 of my favourite riders about to go and ride this amazing simple session course. It's going to be insane. It's the 20th anniversary and it's a special year, and I can't wait for the action to get started.
Okay, do you think that 20th anniversary adds an extra layer of pressure for the riders?
Yeah, of course, the riders are under a lot of pressure, but for a lot of these guys, this event is a real opportunity to make a name for themselves. And not only that, this is not a small event. This is a huge stadium, packed full to the brim of people. These riders hardly ever get to ride in arenas like this, and I think the riders absolutely love riding here on this stage at Simple Session.
Well, if history tells us anything, it's that they always rise to the occasion and put on a show. Because it's the 20th anniversary, we thought, what better time to sit down with the founder of Simple Session, Risto Kalmre, than now to look at the evolution of the event.
We were just a couple of young kids who started riding BMX, and there wasn't really anything to ride, so we built a new skate park and wanted to have an opening event there. At first it was called something else the first year, and then it went good, and next year we already named it Simple Session. So it was way different in the end of 90s or beginning of 2000s. Progression has been like beyond limits, you know, it's totally crazy. Riders have thrown tricks that's never been seen before.
Perfect 1080.
Favorite moments throughout these 20 years, there's been so many. Just to pick something, Josh Harrington, Trubus Hansson has won 5 times, Simone Paracco. There's been so many big stars in BMX world that stood out there.
So you can see the riders starting to warm up on the course. The street finals are going to start very, very shortly. But how does it work, Baz? You've got one course here and 2 disciplines with street and park. How does it cater for both?
Yeah, that's right. We've got one big course. So the street riders will generally try and stick to the rails and the ledges and the flat banks to score their points. But the park riders will very much head towards the big box jumps, the bigger quarters, and be seeking out some of the bigger gaps.
Okay, we've actually got one rider who's in both categories tonight. That's why Baz said there are only 23 riders coming out tonight. Boyd Hilda has qualified for both street and park finals. And don't forget, he won park last year, but we'll talk about him later on. First, we're going to take a closer look at this course with Daniel Weddermeyer and Reed Stark, both park and street riders.
Yo, this is Reed Stark. And here's Daniel Weddermeyer. And we are doing the DJI course preview.
last thing to talk about before we get into the finals is the format. How's it going to work?
So today it's 12 riders, 2 runs each, only taking the best run. So it's best run counts. Yesterday was a little bit different because they combined the 2 runs together.
Okay, so it's all on one run score. More imperative though that you get a solid run down first.
Oh, 100%. If you mess up the first run, the pressure on your second run is immense. So they're going to want to go out and put the first run, get it solid.
Okay, Felix, as the dust settles on the street final, we're now going to look at the park final. And I know that both of you kept your eyes on the qualifiers. Baz, you picked out a couple of people who you thought were going to do really well here. Kieran Riley was your first pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, you've got Kieran Riley. He's 18 years old. He's got so many big tricks. And he's so hungry. He went out there and qualified for the finals. Check it out, that 360 triple tail whip. Such a good young rider, full of adrenaline.
Newcastle's 18-year-old nugget of energy, definitely one to watch in the finals. Yeah. But alongside Kieran, we go from one of the youngest riders in the finals. The other rider you picked out, this man.
Yeah, Ryan Nyquist, he's 40 years old now. How does he keep coming back to Simple Session and all the other events and placing? He's always in the finals, and he's got so much experience.
Doing it for all the dads out there, I think, Felix.
Yeah, he's got 3 kids at home, living a domestic life, and at his weekends he comes to Simple Session and competes with the youngest riders in the world.
And then this man, Boyd Hilder, first place qualifier. He rode in street, Felix.
Yeah, definitely my favourite. I think he's going to win again. I'm pretty sure.
He's such a good all-rounder, Baz.
Yeah, I mean, his run was so entertaining. He had everything, so much speed. Look at that big 360 gap. And the fact that he's just ridden in street as well, and he's got to go straight into park now.
Okay, well, you've kind of answered my next question for me, Felix. I was going to say, who are you picking for the win in park?
Boyd Hilder, for sure.
Baz?
I think Boyd Hilder. I mean, who's going to stop him?
I think there's 11 other men who might have a say in that.
But if he pulls that run, it's going to be really hard to stop that,
I want to see Kieran Riley out there. I'm going to go dark horse, I think. Yeah. Kieran Riley doing well.
Yeah, to be fair, Kieran and Nyquist could cause an upset.
Okay, well, we can take a look now at Boyd Hilder and when he sat down with Daniel Dares, one of the legends of Simple Session.
Man, it feels great to be back at Simple Session, not only because of the event itself, but it's their 20th year anniversary. I think Simple Session has always been a very important event just because, it's gathered the best riders around the world. They kept it pretty true to the roots of BMX, and the courses are always challenging, they're always different, it's not just the same, they try to get pretty much everybody involved. Last year's battle with Boyd was great, I think because we kind of had a good idea on how to put our runs together, but it was fun. Definitely I enjoyed it last year.
For my first year, just riding the course was unreal, and then come out on top, it just topped it off, man. It was great. Honestly, didn't really know. Everyone just grabbed me and threw me up on their shoulders, and that's kind of when I knew.
Boyd Hilder is our 2019 champion.
All the best riders in the world, all the homies are here. It's hard not to have a good time. You're just laughing, having a jam. Practice is wild, but it's fun, man. Well, I never ride with headphones, and I just love when the crowd goes wild. Gets me a bit more stoked. I put an extra pedal in, the vibe's high.
Two of the best riders we're going to see out in the finals tonight. And interesting to hear Daniel Dares talking about that rivalry he had with Boyd last year in that context.
Yeah, it was an absolute showdown between those guys last year. And that's what the final produces, doesn't it? Once 2 riders get out there and they both put a solid first run down, it's all to do in the second run, isn't it? Especially if they're sitting, within a few points of each other.
Okay, we can take a quick look now. Earlier in the day, we held the BMX sister session, the Women's Park Finals. These are the highlights from it. It's so encouraging, isn't it, Baz, to see the number of women competing each year stepping up?
Yeah, the female BMX scene is growing every year, and they're stepping up the level. And it's, you know, it's so good to see Lara Lesserman as well. She's the first female Red Bull BMX athlete. She got a new helmet a couple of days ago. It meant the absolute world to her. And just, you know, we've got riders from Japan.
Minato Oike, when I watched this go down, she went for a backflip on her second run over the big jump box, just over-rotated it. She was sending that. Absolutely beautiful work from her. If she'd have landed it, I've got no doubt it would have been first place. Instead, though, it was Nikita Ducaros of Switzerland who took the win. And the consistency and the power she showed in her riding. Future's bright for women's BMX, Baz.
Yeah, it really is. And now that there's big sponsors for these young females and there's more events, more coverage for them, more opportunity, it's only going to inspire the next generation of females to come through.
Okay, can't wait to see that. We're going to take a very short break now, though. When we come back, we've got BMX Park Finals, 12 of the world's best going head-to-head. Welcome to Simple Session 20 BMX Park Finals. These are the big boys and they are ready to send it. If you've got a hot drink anywhere near you, you might want to set it to one side. We don't want anyone scalded during this. We have such a high caliber of rider. Kieran Riley, Eric Rizaev, Ash Finley, Kossia Andreev and Boyd Hilda, first place qualifier. We're not going to mess around, we're taking you straight into the action with Brian Fox. Found nooks and crannies on this little lad in qualifiers that no one else was getting near. He also busted out the crowd-pleasing double backy, didn't he? So
yeah, he's definitely a crowd pleaser, Brian Fox. He managed to spin his way into being Nitro World Games gold medalist, and he acquired an X Games Dirt bronze medal.
Okay, so Kieran Riley shouting at me on the way in there, getting him psyched up.
He's got some big tricks up his sleeve, Brian Fox. Check it out, 270 down that hip. Oh, you kidding me?
1080 first go.
1080 right at the start of Brian Fox's run.
Boom, it's the sign of things to come. This is going to get wild tonight. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. 1080 first run.
Here's the rotation coming in with the 450
oh, the 450 over the hip.
What? Oh my goodness.
1080 and a double backy in one run.
What a message to the other riders in this park final Brian Fox is sending to start his run with that 1080 and a double backflip. Look at that, a huge flare on that.
I'm giggling to myself. This just basically says to everyone else, bring your A game or leave now. Brian Fox literally strutting around this course, telling everyone that they have to bring absolutely everything they've got tonight. There is nowhere to hide on this course. Throw down or go home, says Brian Fox.
Wow, what a statement. Check it out, that 270 down into that hip as he heads towards the box jump. Look at that, down whip. Check this out, that big double backflip. Rotating twice, just tagging slightly, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, he very nearly clipped, didn't he?
And I love that flare on that awkward quarter pipe down there.
Yeah, you kind of... The bike stepped away from you. That is unbelievable. Brian Fox, he has set this final alight, torn up the script. We were planning on just building up through the 7s, 8s, 9s, maybe taking it to 10 or 11 at the very end. Brian Fox has just sent it to 11 straight off the bat.
Yeah, he came out on fire, didn't he? Just straight into those huge tricks.
86.4. Yeah, he wants to polish it up a little bit, I think he said there. He loves us all, though. So, yeah, a couple of small mistakes now. Daniel Dares, very uncharacteristic mistake from him in qualifiers, which is why we're seeing him riding in second. Qualified in 11th, still made it through. His riding was high enough standard to pull him through. but I doubt he'll make the same mistake twice. You so rarely see Daniel Dares make a mistake in a run, especially qualies.
Yeah, he's 34 years old now. Always manages to make finals.
74 years of BMX stood next to each other up there with Nyquist and Dares.
There's so much experience between these two guys. And you know what? One thing that I think Daniel Dares does so well is he lands so smooth. And I think, you know, he's mastered about 4 or 5, maybe 6 big tricks, and he lands them so smooth. And he can take those tricks to any course, wherever he's riding, whatever contest he's at. And that consistency has made him do so well in the past.
I remember, we're talking 2006 when he exploded with the cash roll. And for 4 years he made that trick pay for him, and he learned so much in that time. He's definitely the wily fox of BMX competition.
Check it out, that 360 triple whip just landing so smooth. He's got so much control. Nice tuck no-hander.
He's getting busy straight away. You know what? It's going to scare a lot of riders having Daniel Dares going up first, or rather second. Oh, did he get a tap on that box then? Or is it just a brilliant camera angle?
Just look at that. He does those 270s so perfectly. 270 tail whip. Oh, that cork 7 landing inch perfect.
Just back to back to back. There is no let up.
Tiny little mistake though, coming into the top section. Wanted the no-handed flare, not quite extending his hands. Still got 10 seconds, Daniel Dares.
This is one man who is not going to run out of tricks though. If tricks were chickens, he'd have one of the biggest barns in the world. Just skips through there, takes a look at the clock, and he knows he's done. So Daniel Dares just getting the monkey off his back from that fall in qualifying, and he's put down one of his classic consistent runs. But the level is still insanely high.
Just makes it look so easy. That 360 triple whip, catching the pedals perfectly. That in-down flare, and look at this. 270 tail whip landing perfect.
That was the trick he fell on, wasn't it? He just slipped out a little bit and banged his head on the back bars.
Yeah, yesterday.
Qualifying. And that no-handed flare. 2 bites of the flare cherry in that exact same quarter. Are the judges going to punish him for that?
I don't think so. It was 2 different variations, but he didn't quite extend his hands fully off on that flare no-hander.
Okay, so Nyquist is down there waiting while the judges make their call on Daniel Dares' run. Got really nice spectrum of different riders in here, haven't we? Got the experience and consistency and strategy, I think it's fair to say, from Daniel Dares. And then you've got those beautiful old school tricks that no one else can do from Ryan Nyquist. And then you've got just atom bombs like Kieran Riley ready to explode on this course. 82.6 for Daniel Dares, slots in just under 4 points behind Brian Fox. Next in Ryan Nyquist. Looks like the park riders have taken a leaf out of the street riders' books, and they're all going for consistency first run.
Yeah, you talk about a strategy. Ryan Nyquist will definitely have one. He will have a well thought out plan going into his first run.
I mean, you start running through Nyquist's bio. He's had 60 June Tour Finals appearances, and he's got 16 X Games medals in 39 starts. And then he went and crossed the floor to freestyle mountain biking and got a 3rd at the biggest contest in freeride mountain biking, Crankworks, in Whistler. Just absolutely mind-blowing what he's done on a bike. And now he's come back to BMX, head coach of the US national team.
40 years old, the oldest rider in our park final, but still a contender.
Look at that stone-cold focus on his face dropping in.
Look at that backflip, double bar spin, rocket double bar spin, tricks that no one else is going to do. Other riders leaving those tricks very much alone. That double bar spin up onto that sub-box. A massive uncharacteristic whip from Ryan Nyquist, 450 bar, 720 bar spin. This run is absolutely phenomenal so far, Ed.
Nyquist on an absolute tear. Tell you what, there's going to be a lot of riders further down the start list who are sweating. What's he doing? Street tricks on the top of the bank. I nearly fell out of the commentary box.
Just getting so unlucky to make a mistake on that trick. It was just a trick he was turning around.
Let's not forget, Dare's made a small mistake as well. Maybe not quite as big. Oh! Second left.
The first 35 seconds of that run were incredible, and just to make a small mistake on that insignificant turnaround trick, so unlucky.
So Nyquist sending the dial on this run. Truly, truly out of the box. He says he can't teach an old dog new tricks. Look at that. Talk us through that backy as well, because most people have got the bars in their lap for a suicide backflip when you're both hands off like that. Nyquist is spinning the bars, gripping the saddle with his knees.
Yeah, he does tricks that a lot of other riders just literally leave alone. He does the suicide backflip no-hander as well. No other riders doing that trick.
78.2 for Ryan Nyquist. It's good enough for third at the moment, but there's the promise of much, much more. Amy Fuller's with Ryan now.
Ryan, it's an absolute pleasure to watch you ride. An incredible run. You must be happy with that.
Pretty happy. I had a couple bobble moments, definitely at the end there. I mean, it's crazy. I messed up a single bar spin, which is like, I don't know what the heck happened, but that's how hard it is, man. This course is so big. You're pedaling all over the place. You get tired, you make dumb mistakes. So looking forward to getting that one back in the run two.
Wicked. Well, good luck in the second run.
Oh, heck yeah, thank you.
A bottomless font of energy, 40 years old, and he still looks like a 12-year-old when you put him in a competition environment. Now, Tom van den Boogaard, if you were watching Munich Mash earlier this year, you'll have seen Tom van den Boogaard taking a huge slam. But I think, for me, there's no one else in BMX who can pop as hard or get as much airtime as Tom van den Boogaard.
Yeah, there was the Red Bull Uncontained contest a few months back, and he absolutely owned that huge step up. He was going so much higher than everyone else, and he really is capable of the biggest box jump tricks. You know, that goes so high over the hips. He's so enjoyable to watch.
It's like he's got industrial springs in his shoes, isn't it? He can get the bike so much higher than everyone else.
Check it out.
No one else has got that line out of that sub box. Yanking the bike through that pump into the hip.
Are you kidding me? That amazing 360 invert. His bike was completely upside down.
He's going to need an in-flight safety video if he keeps going that big. Just hacking through here. Absolutely charging right now. Lovely, just slowing things down for a second. He's using that line to really, really good effect. No one else has got that one.
Now he's jumping these hips so much higher than everyone else, isn't it? Back towards the box jump, his feet are off the pedals.
Oh, 5 seconds to go. He's just let that one slide away. A little shake of the head there. You know how close he was to that one.
Yeah, just missing out on his last trick over the box jump. Couldn't quite get his feet back on the pedals. But check this out, that one-footed table to late look back, so much higher than everyone else over that hip. And
this is
that
monstrous.
360 one-footed flatty upside down and a lot higher than anyone has gone over that box jump.
You could have driven a bus through there.
You really could.
Easy.
Beautiful tabletop on that wedge.
And he did really mix it up in that run, didn't he? He had a really nice variety.
Just one small mistake at the end of his run.
So, at the moment, 3 riders in. Ryan Nyquist on 78.2, Daniel Dares on 82.6, Brian Fox in first place at the moment on 86.4. Small mistake from Tom van den Boogaard. Let's see whether it costs him.
Yeah, I absolutely love watching Tom ride. We did missing out. with him missing out on that last trick over the box, it would have been something beautiful, that's for sure.
77.2, fourth place for Tom van den Boogaard. Speaks to just how high the standard is so far. Next in, Levi Wiedman from Delft in the Netherlands.
Also to be seen at the infamous Area 51 skate park. Shout out to Pim.
Rides the same park as Tom van den Boogaard, the 040 park in Eindhoven. These guys pushing each other on a daily basis as he prepares to drop in on the highest part of our course, roll in for the big box jump. Levi Wiedman. Massive 1080 to start his run.
That's how you make the judges sit up and take notice.
He started massively. 540 bar spin, landing right at the top of that quarter pipe, and he nearly hung up.
Great start, great first 20 seconds for the Dutchman.
Getting a little bit squirrely on that look back.
First time he's made finals, third time he's ridden simple session. And he's making it count this year, cranking through there.
Looked like he wanted to tuck no-hander up into that belt section. The decade! Oh! Wow, pulls the decade air.
I thought they were nearly extinct. You so rarely see them in BMX today. So he's letting it go. 8 seconds on the clock. Levi Wiedman just letting it run. So solid run there. What do you think on the scores, Baz?
I thought that 1080 was incredible to start with, but it looked like the enormity of the occasion kind of got to Levi towards the end of his run. Still had 10 seconds left and didn't really have any more answers, but check that out, that decade air.
Just slipped to pedal there, didn't he?
He did, but he didn't touch the ground, so...
How heavily are the judges going to mark him down for that?
I don't think they will. You know, technically he pulled it, he just slipped to pedal slightly, he didn't actually touch the ground.
Contest make. Okay. So you can see the judges working hard with those pencils. We're going to need a sharpener after this run.
Yeah, they'll be combing through Levi's run now, looking for all the bangers and the little mistakes.
Do you think it's a case, I mean, we've seen it in the UK with hotbeds like Hastings and Southsea with BMX, that once you get one good rider like Tom van den Boogaard coming through, it'll drag a trail of riders behind him. So Levi Wiedman out of the Netherlands in 5th place with 5 riders down. So van den Boogaard and Wiedman sat at the bottom. Rim Nakamura, just 17 years old, the Japanese rookie, well, 18 years old, sorry now. Rim Nakamura, he's actually been around a while, hasn't he?
He has, and it's his birthday today, so this is a great birthday present for Rim, riding in our simple session final.
I don't feel so bad for getting his age wrong now. My bio definitely said 17 for qualies yesterday. So 18th birthday, the man comes of age at simple session. To be fair, his riding came of age a long, long time ago. Got 14th here last year. He's already better than that, making it into the top 12. And certainly the calibre of the run that we saw in qualifiers, Baz, he's top 6 material.
He really is. And it's his birthday and it's time to party. Rim Nakamura dropping in. 360 double truck. 720 up, that step up. Definitely a high flyer, Rim. Last spin up into the sub. Wanted the manual, just dropped the front wheel. Nice smooth 270 up into the hip section. Look at that, huge Superman C grab. Nice down whip. Flare bar spin, really difficult that trick. Nice, hitting the street section with that up rail to 360 out. Bar spin to ice, just dabbing a foot.
How many times have we seen that? what started out as such a consistent final. Well, I say that, Daniel Dares, Ryan Nyquist, Tom van den Bogart, Levi Weidman, they've all made small mistakes there.
Yeah,
which means these final scores are wide open still.
Absolutely, and we saw Rim finish with that up rail to opposite tail whip. Massive trick that. Look at this, 360, late double bar spin. There's that 720, up the step up.
You need a lot of rotation there to pull that one out, because that landing's creeping up on you the whole time, isn't it?
Look how big, nice and stretched that Superman C grab over the big box.
There's about 4,000 people in that stand, got an incredible shot of that. So, one small mistake in there for Rim Nakamura. Currently, third place is 78.2. Got 5 riders down and scored. We're still waiting for Rim Nakamura's score, and then we'll be into the top 6 qualifiers. First runs here at the Simple Session BMX Finals in 2020, if you're just joining us. Tom van den Bogart, Boyd Hilder down there, 73.4. 6th position for Rim Nakamura. Got Beaver Fleming there as well. Kept it locked. Now though, it's the turn of the Australian, Brandon Lupos.
You know, I love riding my bike all over the world, so it's cool to come to a Simple Session and just perform for the Estonian fans, and also come to a cool contest as well, and just not only showcase BMX to this side of the earth, but also just be a part of such a cool event too.
Well, he's got tech, style and courage to burn. The Sydney sider, 26 years old, 2019 world champion.
You know what, I really love Brandon Lupos. His attitude is so inspiring. He, every event he goes to, he gives it 110%. And he always says, you know what, I'm going to try my very best. I'm going to come out swinging. If I don't pull it, I'll learn from my mistakes. And if I do, there's a lot of glory to be had.
It felt like in kind of end of 2018 and then into 2019, he unlocked the matrix for contest riding. When he's on form, he's untouchable, isn't he?
Absolutely, and he's got some huge tricks.
Do you get the feeling that he was one of the riders who has the most to add to his run after qualifying? Because it looked like he coasted a bit in qualies.
Yeah, I was interested in that actually. He didn't throw any of his big tricks in qualifying. He cruised into the finals. It shows he's got a lot more to give.
Okay, the Australian's in.
Are you kidding me? A backflip triple tail whip to start his run. From the wedge to wedge.
Brandon Lupos is your sleeper, ladies and gentlemen. Just coming out of nowhere, he's laid down 2 of the biggest tricks we've seen all weekend.
Huge double tail whip over the hip. As he heads back towards the box jump, expect something big, everybody. There's the cash roll.
Oh, the off-axis 720.
Wow, he did that so perfectly. He has done some massive tricks already in this run. He's still got 19 seconds.
That's phenomenal, isn't it? I feel like he's had a year rather than a minute.
He's heading back towards the box jump head.
He wants another bite of this.
Going, he's run out of steam a little bit. There's that double tail over the hip.
Why not? Send it in a different direction. Brandon Lupos pulling out a run that almost no one saw coming there, Baz.
Wow. He did the cash roll, he did the backflip, triple tail whip. I think he wanted to finish with a 900 flare there up in the bowl section, but just run out of time and speed. Check it out though. Backflip, triple tail whip. 1, 2, 3, spots the pedals and lands dead smooth there. There's that front flip over the wedge gap.
Where did that come from? He's almost got to bunny hop into that and stall the front wheel to get his body weight over it.
And that's a trick that makes no sense to me, that cash roll.
Throwing your head around the front of the bike as you take off. I need to give you all a visual picture here. Baz is kind of rubbing his forehead in pain and frustration watching that. Phenomenal run from Brandon Lupos and rewarded by the judges with a 91.4. Brandon Lupos sending his first run to the moon. And he's got 5 points of daylight between him and second place Brian Fox as a result. A lot of work to do now for the remaining riders, the next of which is Ash Finley out of the UK. And a great run in qualies, Baz.
Yeah, he's super stoked to make finals. Ash Finley rides Corby Skate Park a lot. He's been putting in a lot of work at home, building up to this event. He qualified through the Backyard Jam series, so he's done he's had to put the work in to get here, and to make finals was a dream come true for Ash Finley.
Okay, first time at Simple Session, and he's made finals. That's a pretty special one. Kid out Bury St Edmunds. I say a kid, he's 26, but gives the crowd a bit of an amp.
Nice, different approach at the start of his run with that double tail whip, flare over the channel. Smooth 360, can down into the course. As he heads towards our box jump. Downside tail whip. Big 720, just over-rotating slightly.
I thought he was going to hit the fences then for a second.
So unlucky just to over-rotate a few degrees, sending him into that fence.
Oh, he's going back.
He is.
He's going to get it this time. Pumps in.
Big lazy backflip over the box jump.
Starting from where he left off again. The backflip replacing the 7.
He's having to improvise here. This is not what he planned, I don't think. There's that big flare on the quarter.
Yeah, he's going to let that one run. Oh! Cheeky little pogo.
Look at that! Tail whip to foot jam, tail whip to finish.
Pretty special.
That is exactly how you want to finish a run, with a big technical, really difficult trick. I like that, the flare over the channel.
Tell you what, he's got classic BMX's arms, hasn't he? They're massive. Doesn't matter how much pressure you put down through this boy's shoulders and forearms, he's going to deal with it, I think. But like prize-winning Iberico hands from Madrid. Right, so Ash Finley waiting patiently for his score. Looks like he might have to wait a little while. You can see Hank in the middle there with the black cap on, still punching the scores in.
I was impressed with Ash's run though. He showed real maturity to choose a different line from some of the other riders. We saw him cut across the course and jump up into the bowl section with a double tail whip.
So there's the standings as they are at the moment. Lupos 5 points clear of Fox. Dare's still very much in touch with the top 2. Nyquist and Van den Bogard, definitely ways those two can improve their runs for the second run. If you're just joining us, it is Simple Session Park Finals. We're just getting into the business end of the first runs. They're running in reverse order of qualifying. Ash Finley came through in 5th position. And he's got a 77.44, which puts him in 5th, just behind Ryan Nyquist. Now, one of your big picks, and one of mine, Baz, Kieran Riley, 18 years old, out of Newcastle. Prodigy of that man who made such an impression on BMX back in the early 2000s, Ben Hennon.
Yeah, Kieran's been on fire lately. He's really shown the whole BMX community that he's got the big tricks. He's been firing them out every day on Instagram. And the question is, can he do it here when the pressure is on in this final?
Certainly looks like it. He looks pretty relaxed there. He is an absolute weapon on a bike.
Bar spin to tuck no hander to start his run as he heads towards the box jump. 360 double tail into bar spin. There's that truck to tail whip, big trick on the step up. Into the bowl section. No way! Tail whip 5 on the quarter.
And he slipped a pedal though.
So unlucky to slip a pedal. But not really a mistake that, as he kind of slipped as he was riding away from that trick. Back towards the box jump for Kieran Riley. What's he got? 360 triple tail whip over the box.
That's unbelievable.
Double truck up the step up. What can he finish with?
Where is he taking the speed?
Back to the jump box. Through the hip.
Just losing a little bit of a momentum towards the end of his run.
Yeah, it felt like he didn't have... It was a little bit aimless through that last 15 seconds.
It looked like when his foot slipped off the pedal, it looked like he thought his chain had come off. It looked like he was afraid to put his feet back on. But check this out, that 360 double tail whip to late bar spin. Those multi-combo tricks are so difficult. You know, you're spinning the tail whip round, but you've also got in the back of your head that you're going to do a bar spin as well.
And let's not forget, if you're going to pack all of that in, you've got to go absolutely massive. Like it's not like street where you can kind of slow stuff down and go a little bit smaller and take your time with it. If you want to pack that many moves in, that many combos, then you've got to go huge.
Absolutely, and you know, to do a 360 double tail whip and have in the back of your mind that I've got to do a tail whip, I mean, you've still got a bar spin to do. You're doing it right at the very point you're about to land. So scary.
Okay, difficult one for the judges here. Lupos still way out in front on 91.4. I don't think Kieran's going to pull into that realm. Where do you see this potentially, Baz? Like top end of the 70s? At the moment, we got Ryan Nyquist in fourth. It felt like it was more technical, like Ryan's might have been more unique, but felt like maybe Kieran was a little bit bigger, a little more tech. 80.86, fourth place for Kieran Riley, does unseat Ryan Nyquist.
I think he'll be very happy with that because I know he's got a lot more to give over that box jump.
Okay. Irek Rizaev of Russia. So interesting watching his talent develop over the last 4 or 5 years here at Simple Session. I saw him in qualifiers warming up for his run on a static bike at the back. Irek is so serious. He takes this so seriously now. He's fully committed to BMX, and he has those classic Russian genes of total commitment. And I think he's had his fear and his pain glands removed.
Yeah, I was really impressed with his riding. He looked so solid yesterday, and he's got some big tricks, and he's all over the course. And yeah, interesting, like you talk about him being really serious about his fitness. You need it. You need it. You've got 60 seconds out there, and it burns. If you're not fit, it really does burn.
Okay, second here in 2018, dropped off the podium down to fourth last year. Can he get back there now with this run?
Wow, that beautiful triple tail whip, high, smooth, and very much in control. He's got some big tricks and some stylish tricks. I really like Irek's riding. Look at that triple tail whip over there. Nice no-handed gap down that wedge.
Little manual across the top of that.
Switch there, switch down whip on that awkward quarter. Big turn down.
Couldn't quite bring that whip flare in.
Oh, he will be so frustrated to go down on that trick. His run was looking polished and just didn't quite pull out enough on that flare tail whip. Having to take the slam.
Oh, look at him.
He couldn't even pick himself up after that one either. It was too much of a big crash. Check it out though. Just smashing around that triple tail whip over the box.
Was it three? 1, 2,
3,
4.
Sorry, it was 4. I am so sorry to the watchers at home. That was 4 tail whips, even better than I thought.
And then the triple comes in on the hip. Because he's got a quint, hasn't he? I've seen him pull out the quint tail whip before here. And he's got a 1080 as well if he really wants to send it. But I think he's been bitten off by those tricks so often, and he doesn't actually need them. I mean, I could be wrong. He might need them tonight. But Irek Rizaev left to reflect on what might have been after his first run. 2 riders left to drop in these first runs of BMX Park Finals. It's the 20th anniversary of Simple Session, and we have seen riding worthy of such an anniversary. Such a high standard. That's where we are at the moment. Brandon Lupos came out and lit up these finals. A 91.4 was his reward from the judges. Brian Fox, first man on course, set the bar very, very high with an 86.4. Daniel Dares, even with a mistake, able to squeeze an 82.6 out of his run. Oh, Irek, you can see all the body language, his frustration.
And for good reason. The first part of that run was so good, you know. He had the 4 tail whips over the box jump, the triple tail whip over that hip. To go down on that tail whip flare, a trick that I'm sure he does so often at home. Definitely be stinging that one.
Oh, judges are deep in this. Bit of disagreement. Hank's fight in one corner. Who was it who was shaking their head there? Andy's eyes and Daryl now. The global voices of BMX.
The people on the big screen.
What those boys don't know about BMX, you could write on the top of a pin, I reckon. Those boys are dedicated to the cause. If you cut them open, they bleed BMX. 77.34 for Irek Rizaev, 7th position, just behind Ash Finley, just ahead of Tom van den Bogard. But one of the forefathers of Russian BMX, otherwise known as the Russian bar spin king, it is Kostya Andreev of Russia. Great use, of course, in qualies. There's plenty of Russians in this sold-out arena.
It really is, and you know what? When Kostya's on his A game, he poses a real threat to all of these riders in this park final. He really does have a deep bag full of tricks. What can we see him start with over the box jump to start his first run in this park final?
Here we go.
360 double tail to tuck no hander. Truck driver to can over the hip.
Just got the leg back in time.
The bar spin coming out with the no hander. Kostya with the transfer to tail, and he is in the
big tail whip gap. Nice pocket bar spin.
This is where he starts to make his presence felt and makes the judges pay attention.
That was a nice no hander. Held it off for eternity, didn't he? Look at that 270 table over the hip. It's got a little bit of everything so far. Double tail down into the hip. As he heads back towards the box jump, double bar spin up. Can he keep his speed? Truck to down whip. Pulled perfectly. Oh my goodness! Superman C grab tail whip up that step up. This run is amazing. 1 second left for Kostya.
Oh, and he brings it in.
For a second there, I thought we were going to see the bar spin out. He owns the bar spin to foot jam to bar spin out. So tech.
Well, alongside Brian Fox and Brandon Lupos, he's one of the few riders who's shown this course a clean set of heels. Very, very impressive riding from Kostya Andreev, and he's ratcheted up the pressure on the rest of the field with that run.
He really has. I've really enjoyed watching that run. I love the way he held his hands off on those no-handers. Had a little bit of everything. Check it out, that 360 double tail to late no-hander. Just holding his hands off perfectly. And there's that big tuck no-hander into the steep wedge. And I love the way he held them off on that 270 no-hander. There's that truck driver to late downside tail whip. Superman seat grub, pushing the tail whip round.
That's unreal.
Step up. Very original, that trick.
Look at what it means to him as well. Look how relaxed he is. And he's taking a leaf out of Irek Rizaev's book. He's getting up on the static bike, keeping those legs moving. You said it. You've got to be fit now if you're going to make this work.
It's so demanding, Ed, to go out there for 60 seconds. And, you know, 60 seconds out there just riding around in a circle would be tiring enough. The fact they're doing back-to-back tricks all over the course.
88.5 for Kostya Andreev. Good enough for second place. Brian Fox in third. But now it's the turn of the first place qualifier, the only man to make it into street and park finals. He is truly a breath of fresh air. He can ride absolutely anything. Boyd Hilda out of the Gold Coast in Australia is back in Tallinn, Estonia to defend his BMX Park Finals. Little bit of talc on the bars, make sure he doesn't suffer from sweaty hands, and he's ready to go.
Let's just hope his confidence isn't slightly knocked after those little wobbles he had in the street earlier.
I think it's not his main focus. My only worry with him ever is exactly what we've just talked about, is fitness. He's been riding, he rode so long in qualies and then he's had to ride street already today.
Look at that nothing seat grab to start. Opposite truck driver, up that step up. Very original tricks already.
And then taking a leaf out of his street book.
Check it out, that big gap double peg! Oh! How has he done that so many times? I will never know as he heads back towards the box jump.
You just don't want to, do you? Whoa! One of the only riders doing the hip straight into that near-vert volcano.
Are you kidding me? That downside tailwind over that wedge-to-wedge channel was beautiful. 24 seconds to go, Boyd.
Just blasting through. He's found that incredible transfer into the back of the bowl hip.
Oh my goodness, he's so much fun to watch. Look at that 360 transfer.
Big ice cream scoop of style on that seat grab table as well. Oh, letting the back end fishtail. Wow. Boyd Hilda, take a bow. That was... Baz has just made a face at me like, what planet is this kid from? No one knows, Baz. No one knows.
He looked like, you know, on that massive gap to double peg, he almost looked like this was the moment he was going to miss. Check it out, though, that nothing seat grab over the box.
You get the feeling that the space-time continuum might just open and suck Boyd Hilda 100 years into the future because he's just not from this time.
So stylish, that toboggan over the hip.
Well, we missed it. Like, that was almost no flat bottom because he rode straight into the volcano off it.
He did, and he had some original lines there, some gaps that no one else has done.
And the fishtail to then set up that Canadian foot jam.
A really good variety of tricks. Not too much of one thing, not too much of another. Big gaps, big tricks. Love watching Boyd ride.
Just when everyone else thought they might have a chance, Boyd Hilda comes out and lands that. You can see Costier up there, still giving it the static bike. Yeah, there's a bit of sweat going on there. Someone get the judges some tissues. They're going to need to mop this up. 89.6. It is not as clean cut as we thought. Brandon Lupos holds on to first place. Let's see what Boyd Hilda thinks of that. We'll go down to Amy Fuller now.
Boyd, congratulations, a fantastic run. You're the only rider to compete in both events. How physically demanding is it to do that?
Oh, mate, it's ridiculous. Last night I was in bed like as soon as I could be. I knew I needed all the sleep I can. Like, right now I'm tanked. I need to take a couple deep breaths and get back up there.
And is there added pressure coming into this as last year's winner?
Oh yeah, there is, but I don't know, I'm just here to have fun. Like, it'll be nice to win, but if I don't, no biggie.
Good luck for your second run.
Okay, Boyd Hilda moves into second place, and we're starting to get a nice bit of heat building up in these finals. So after the first round, Lupos in first, Hilda second. Kostya Andreev holds on to his podium position. Brian Fox in fourth, Irek Rizaev down there in ninth. Plenty of talent waiting to move back up this field in the second round. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got the business end of the Simple Session 20 BMX Park Finals. Oh, take a breath, everyone. That was an incredible first run, worthy of Simple Session 20, Baz.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Some of the riding that went down straight out the gate, you know. We saw Brian Fox come straight into that double flip. He also did the 1080 in his run. Such incredible tricks going down. Look at that.
Dan Dares was nearly inch perfect. He was only one small mistake. Ryan Nyquist again. Just like exactly as you said, so many different tricks out of him. There's a lot of pedigree that could step up, isn't there? Tom van der Bogard, Levi Weidman.
We saw 1080s, we saw double flips, we saw huge gaps, front flips over that driveway. It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Where did Lupos come from with that run? I had not seen any of those in practice.
And that cash roll was something else.
Where can Lupos take that run as well?
Well, that's the freedom he has now. He gets to go out on his second run and just improve. You know, he's sitting in the top spot, so he's got...
That is one man that I want to see. I'm looking forward to see what Irek Rizaev can do. Kostya Andreev, though, did himself proud. He'll be really, really happy, another rider. Boyd Hilda, I like the fact that we've had a question asked of him by Brandon Lupos. Right now, Boyd Hilda has got to respond to Lupos' second run.
Absolutely, we've got a real battle on our hands here because Boyd Hilda's definitely got the tricks to respond.
And he's got the luxury of going last. There's the star list. There's Nyquist, Van der Bogard, all with a lot of work to do. Brian Fox not looking too bad in fourth, but Kieran Riley, Irek Rizaev, Kostya Andreev and Boyd Hilda will round out the last event here at Simple Session 20. BMX Park Finals, run 2, about to get underway. This is going to be epic. It never fails to deliver. Brian Fox coming in first. He blew the roof off this place on his first run. Let's see if he can do the same second run.
Yeah, expect fireworks as he heads towards the box jump. He's got so many big tricks. 1080!
Oh, loops out.
Oh, just managed to over-rotate that 1080.
Well, it's always the same on a bike. If you're coming in from a backflip, you've actually got a lot of warning and you can adjust the length of your body to speed up or slow the rotation down, but you've got such a narrow window to land when you're spinning like that on a horizontal axis.
Absolutely, he's got no brakes on his bike, so he couldn't correct it. Check it out.
Oh!
Just going all in, trying to flip tail whip over that volcano. That thing is really hard to ride. It's so steep.
Yeah, there's no margin for error. If you don't pull hard enough, then you're going to float out over 20 foot above a solid concrete floor. Oh, makes my sends shivers down my spine. So Brian Fox will have to ride his first run score, 86.4. It's good enough for fourth at the moment, but as we just said, the start list is packed and there is a lot of talent queued up behind him looking for a spot on the podium. He wants it again. Oh, there it is! Inch perfect, Baz.
Brian Fox just absolutely doing it for the crowd here at Simple Session.
I think he's saying he can die now.
Hey, we've got a packed out stadium watching these guys and they are loving this final. Look at that backflip, kicking the tail whip around.
Set it down perfectly. So, long wait for Brian Fox as he watches some of BMX's finest talents throw down. Next in, Daniel Dares. Arguably the most experienced competitor in the world, were it not for the man stood 2 along from him, Ryan Nyquist. What those boys don't know about competition BMX, it's simply not worth knowing. Dares rubbing his hands together, getting rid of the moisture.
Yeah, Dares would have worked so hard on this run. He got here on Wednesday, he'd have been planning it out for the whole week. As he starts with a big 360 triple tail whip, just slipping a pedal.
Wasn't it? He hit it well though.
So much experience, look, he's recovered already.
Lands right at the top of the transition as well, doesn't he? Every time.
It's really enjoyable to watch someone land as smooth as Daniel. Nice 270, no hand and landing smooth on the hip. Look at that! 720 invert over the box.
Yes, so many other riders might have let that little foot slip get in their heads, but Daniel just knows how to get past it, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's experience. He he knows not to be affected by it too much and not, you know, turn around and go back and try it again. Just carry on, have a plan and stick to it.
We need to see that angle to see how much extension he got on that no-hander. So very, very tidy, very, very smart riding from Daniel Des. Did it lack that wow factor a little bit maybe that we saw from Brandon Lupos's run?
Yeah, we saw him slip a pedal slightly on that 360 triple whip. Landed so smooth on that flare, and I like that 720 invert over the box jump. Very original trick there. Not many people doing that one.
You have to have the awareness and composure to be able to contort yourself like that through the middle of a 7.
Absolutely.
Look at him, big smiles from Daniel Des. Love that colour combo on the bars, grips, stem. So 87.4. Des moves up into 4th place. Brian Fox already slipping down the standings. Now, Ryan Nyquist currently in 7th, and he had a pretty sizable mistake in that first run, so there's the chance for Nyquist to really muscle his way up the standings here.
Absolutely, and you know, we saw Nyquist revolutionise the bar spin early on in his career. He's got multiple combos of that trick. Check it out, backflip double bar spin to start his run. Rocket double bar spin, up the step up. Nice little double bar spin onto the sub box, bar spin into the steep wedge. It's looking good. Look at that, big down whip. Don't often see Nyquist do tail whips. 450 bar spin over the hip. 720 bar spin.
Yes, he's got it.
Come on, Ryan. Look at that, one-handed X up. This is where he made the mistake in his first run. Looking very strong. Look at that.
I think he was yelling at the cameraman on the run up to that as well.
I think he was. That huge 270 truck.
Oh, no! No, Ryan!
In the dying moments of his run, just going down.
I so desperately wanted to see what was possible with that run. That was incredible. That was truly, truly incredible. Ignore the fact that he's 40 years old and he's got 3 kids. It's just insane that he can ride at this level. And that is a solid, solid run. I don't care how old you are.
Look at that, 720 with the bar spin in there. And that alley-oop 270 double truck up into the bowl section.
And he's just letting the bars roll there, isn't he? The confidence he's got. Take a bow, Ryan Nyquist. That was beautiful.
He'll be so disappointed that he fell on that last trick right towards the end of his run.
So he's on a 78.2. You've got to be clean to make it into the top 3. There's just no way around that at the moment. We've got very, very clean runs in the top 3. Even top 4. Well, Dare's had that slight slip and he's in 4th place at the moment. Look at that.
Ryan knows as well. He knows that he needed a clean run, and that's why he looks so disappointed there.
Did you know that Nyquist can melt ice with that stare? It's been proven. They had him staring at glaciers, put 2 holes in them. There it is, commitment to the cause. 81.9 is the reward. It's good enough for 6th position. So he's moved up a little bit.
He's moved up, but I think he realised as soon as he crashed that there will be no podium for Ryan tonight, unfortunately.
Okay, next in, Tom van den Bogard. Look at that smile. He is so stoked. Boyd Hilda wants to see him stop this one.
Yeah, all of the other riders love watching Tom ride.
Not surprised. Looks like he's got a JTOW unit strapped to his bike. Do you know what that is? Jet-assisted takeoff unit used for heavy cargo planes on short runways.
Look at that tabletop to look back over the hip to start. A lot higher than everyone else.
Okay, let's get that JTOW unit fired up. The boost is coming.
Here we go. Look at that. He wanted the backflip tail to late look back, and his foot just slipped off the pedal and he couldn't quite put it back on and recover. So unlucky there from Tom van den Boogaard.
That bike snap was beautiful though. Just a little stamp to pull that one up. Oh, disappointment from Tom van den Boogaard. Knows how close that was.
I love this though, look, that one-footed tabletop.
Well, no one else is even getting half that height out of there.
Cranks the look back straight after that trick. So stylish.
Okay, at the moment, a lot of riders struggling to make these second runs count. Only Daniel Dares has moved himself up. But the podium positions still safe. Kostya Andreev, Boyd Hilda and Brandon Lupos top three. 75.6 is the score at the moment for Levi Weidman from the Netherlands. It's an 88.5 to make the podium positions. So, Weidman just setting off from the highest point on the course into the jump box.
Got some big tricks. Check it out. Massive over the first box jump, start his run.
Just winding his way out to the side of the course on the run out from the 1080.
He's had to improvise here as he gaps up into the bowl section. Tail whip over the channel. There's that decade.
Love that.
Pulls that one perfectly.
The only guy we've seen doing decades in the finals.
Are you kidding me?
7 the wrong way over the box. You need such precision for that.
That was really cool, that trick.
Nyquist, the only other guy we've seen go through there. They paid dividends for him in the first run, definitely. Oh, just dropped the front wheel there. Levi Weidman. What do you reckon, Baz? Too much of a mistake there?
Yeah, I think he made a mistake with this. That big 1080, he over-rotated and it threw him off sync. He didn't really have an answer for where he ended up.
But he's lost his line, hasn't he?
Yeah, where he ended up on the course, he didn't have an answer for. But look, he pulled the decade and there's that 540 truck land perfectly right at the end of his run. Good recovery, but quite have enough for me to finish in the podium spot.
So, judges getting busy on this one. Next in, we got Rim Nakamura. As you said, birthday boy. It's his third time in Estonia. 14th here last year. He's got a little bit of the Tom van den Boogaard about him, I think, Rim Nakamura.
He has, yeah.
Boost.
Yeah, he goes very high over the hips. Some big box jump tricks.
So Levi waiting for his score to come in. 77.08, slight improvement, but it won't change the rank. 11th place for Levi Weidman. Rode in 18 and 19 here. First time he's made finals, he will be over the moon. So current standings ahead of Rim Nakamura's run. Lupos 91.4, Boyd Hilda on 89.6, Kostya Andreev on 88.5. The Australians locking out the top spots. Daniel Dares already had his second run, as has Brian Fox. So a lot of movement still possible. Let's see what the birthday boy can bring to this course.
Wow! He starts with I think that was a double chuck to late tail for Rim Nakamura. Look at that, bar spin onto the sub box, tail whip down into the big wedge. Look at that, triple chuck over the hip. Just bar spin to turn down.
He's got so much more height over those hips than anyone else.
Double tail whip on the wedge. He looks a little bit out of control in some areas, but he's managed to keep it going.
Well, he's got so much urgency. He just wants to blast through it. 20 seconds left though. Can he keep up this intensity?
So excited to watch this young rider shred around the course. Look at that. Alley-oop down whip. This is a jam-packed run. Finishes with the down whip. Wow, that was a really good run. He was a little bit loose in the early part of his run, but he did a lot of big tricks.
Well, currently in 12th position. This is going to move him up quite a way. How far do you think it could go, Baz?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I love the way he did that switch tail whip from the sub box into the steep wedge. He had lots of different unique tricks. Look at that bar spin, backflip to late turn down. Very solid run for the birthday boy.
Look at that. Boys giving him plenty of encouragement. Brandon Lupos really enjoying that one. Rim just settling himself, waiting to see what he pulls in score-wise. What would you go for, Baz? At the moment, we've got Kostya Andreev on an 88.5. Is the cut-off for the podium? Yeah. I think it's mid-80s, definitely.
Yeah, I would have thought so, but you know what, I'm glad I'm not a judge yet, because it's such a difficult job having to comb through these riders' runs, break it down into small details, look for the mistakes, look for all the tricks that have done differently to other riders, and
there is 93.2. Rim Nakamura moves into first place ahead of Brandon Lupos. This final has been turned upside down by the young Japanese rider celebrating his 18th birthday here today.
Wow, the crowd have absolutely erupted here in the stadium. Rim Nakamura almost looked surprised, didn't he?
But he deserves it, I think. So Brandon Lupos spits out his mouthpiece. The man who's just lost the lead has an instant opportunity to return fire. What's he going to do here?
Can he answer?
Of course he can. Were you watching his first run?
We have got a real battle on our hands here now, ladies and gentlemen, in this final. Brandon Lupos has got a lot to do to overtake the young Japanese rider.
And I think if there's one thing we know about Brandon Lupos, it's that he responds well to pressure.
He responds better than anyone else in the game, that's for sure. But can he do it now, under the lights?
I was going to say they've dimmed the lights for him. There's a bit of drama being built for Brandon Lupos. Ash Finley, big puncture of a sigh there as Brandon Lupos drops in.
The catch for a no-hander to start his run. What an answer from Brandon Lupos.
And nearly to flat. And the speed he carried out the front flip into that look back.
Wow, the 270 tail whip up in the bowl section. Triple tail whip over the hip, just dabbing a foot.
Oh, hopefully that's not too... Oh, no! Oh, Brandon's let it go. He knew from that first slip he can't get away with two. That was unbelievable.
Oh my goodness, high drama here in this final simple session. He knew the second his foot touched the ground on that roller section, it was all over for his chance to finish on the top spot.
Oh, Lupos. That's just insane. He sent that so deep. He was at the bottom of the landing.
Cash roll with the tuck no-hander.
He's almost on the simple session 20 logo.
Unbelievable tricks from Brandon. Oh, such a fierce competitor. I love this guy's positivity, though. He won't be too bummed on this. He'll learn from it, you know, and use it as experience for the next contest.
Okay, we've got Amy down courtside at the moment. She's with Rim Nakamura.
Rim, first of all, happy birthday. And congratulations, you're currently sat in first place. Did you expect that?
No, like my first round was so bad. I missed so many tricks. Second round, I focused. Yeah, focus for that second round.
And do you think it's enough to hold on to first place?
Hopefully, but everybody killed it. I cheer for every riders.
Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you. Okay, Rem Nakamura philosophical about his chances of holding on to the lead. Brandon Lupos 68.22, that 91.4 is enough to hold him in second place at the moment. Boys all supporting him. You got Ash Finley up there, and then the two Russians yet to drop behind him, Arek Rizeev and Kostya Andreev. What do you think Ash is going to pull here, Baz?
Well, he has the double backflip in his bag of tricks. But interesting to see he's carving across the course to start his run. Look at that, big double tailwind up into the bowl section. Nice flare over the channel. Will he use one of those big tricks he has up his sleeve? That is the question.
Got to, surely. Going to make his way back now via the hips to the big jump.
It's now or never, Ed.
Okay. Let's see, is he going to roll the dice?
360 triple tailwind.
Boom, first big trick down. Oh, squeaking over the gap there.
Nice flare on the quarter pipe. Ash Finley, we have 15 seconds left. Heading towards the box jump. We've got some big tricks. Look at that, nice big Superman over the box. Opted to keep it consistent.
I was going to say he's not going for the big tricks now, is he? He thinks he's... I don't blame him either. I think watching the runs and how many people have dropped runs, a consistent run could sneak a really, really good result in.
Absolutely right, Ed, and you saw him there finish with the opposite flare.
Ash Finley boxing very, very clever on his second run here.
Yeah, showed real maturity there, didn't he? Look at that double tail whip on that gap that hardly anyone else is doing. Really exploiting the fact that he's not seen any of his other fellow competitors do that gap. There's that 360 triple tail whip. Nice, controlled, smooth, high flare on the Red Bull quarter. There's that classic Superman over the box.
Interesting to see how much difference that Superman would make if he'd thrown something a little, any kind of rotation in there.
The double flip's a big trick, you know, and if you stomp that at the end of your run in the dying seconds and you pull it smooth after a long, consistent run, judges will definitely, you know, favour that.
Yeah, this is, and if that's the other thing, the judges, if the judges know that you've got that, then they're probably going to be, like, you've cheated us. I wanted the double backflip.
Yeah, absolutely right. Sometimes they score these riders on what they can do rather than the run in front of them.
Yeah, 78.14. Maybe a victim of his own talent there, Ash Finley. So 9th position for the man from Bury St Edmunds. Another Brit to drop now, though, Kieran Riley out of Newcastle. He's on tall order bikes. Baz, what did you see in him that you thought was so promising as a kid?
I just love how he's so motivated. He's, you know, every week he's out there. He works a full-time job, hardly ever gets time to ride, but still gets out there and pushes hard anyway. And it's been exciting watching him come up over the last couple of years.
Okay, didn't have the run he wanted at first go out, but he's got some dynamite in his pocket for the second run.
360 double tail to double bar spin, truck to tail whip, up the step up. He started very strong.
There's a good energy about this run, isn't there? It feels nice.
Certainly is. There's that 540 tail whip. No one else doing that in this final.
Cranking back across the bowl as he drops down. Gonna see him go across the hips.
He's got a lot of pumping to do to gather up some speed for the box. 360 triple.
He got that done so early, didn't he?
Double bar spin up the step up. Still got 10 seconds. Where's he going to finish, Ed?
There's the buzzer. Kieran Riley thrashing that run to the very last there. He has milked every point out of this course that he could, I think. You know he's riding better than anyone. Did he dial this back at all, or was this at his limit?
You You know what? He still had more to give, and that was what was cool to see about this run. Look at that, the 360 triple tail whip. He's capable of more, but it was good to see that he had a run similar to Ash Finley's, showed maturity, finishing with some consistent tricks rather than absolutely sending some of the less consistent tricks, possibly resulting in a crash. But a full pull for Kieran Riley.
Okay, he was on an 80.86. For the podium in third position, Boyd Hilder's on an 89.6. For first place, it's Rim Nakamura in 93.2. I feel like this has got to be high-end 80s. It's got to be. Like just on the level of technicality over the box.
Absolutely, and you know, it means the world for Kieran to be in this final. Absolute dream come true. And he's so young, you know, he's got so many more years left to progress his riding and mature as a rider.
82.88. Look at that, a score well into the 80s, and he's still in 8th position. Harsh lesson in the standards of a simple session final there. Next in, Arek Reserve of Russia. Such a strong rider, has some of the biggest tricks in the game. Quint whips, 1080s, but it wasn't able to put down his first run. There is a lot of pressure built up on the Russian now.
You know what? He potentially has what it takes to knock Rim off the top spot. We saw him get so unfortunate in his first run to crash. Look at that! Massive over the first box.
The quad whip.
Big bar spin to top no-hander, super high over that hip. Triple tail whip over the hip.
It's unreal how quickly he can chuck that.
Certainly is, look at that. Top no-hander across the wedge. Nice opposite tail whip. Tiny little mistake, but not really.
He's grimacing as he cranked there. He just wanted every bit of power he could muster. No! Again! Same trick, same place.
Oh my goodness, Eirik will be absolutely gutted. Not only to crash that trick in his first run, but to go back and not learn from that mistake and crash on his second run. So unfortunate.
Tell you what, Rim Nakamura is starting to believe now. He's got a podium spot for sure. Young Japanese rider is guaranteed at least one birthday present. Whether it's third, second, or first remains to be seen.
Look at that, 4 tail whips, 1 big jump. Triple tail whip over the hip from Eirik.
The symmetry he's got between his feet as he's just generating the rotation for those whips.
It just shows how difficult it is to not only come out here and stomp a run, to stomp a run that's good enough to make podium it's a real feat.
Okay, Arek Reserve. Disappointment, second in 2018, fourth in 2019. He's not going to put a 10th. Oh, and body language said it all. You could bottle disappointment. So now, Kostya Andreev, second Russian, qualified in second place for Park Finals. Can he reel in Rim Nakamura? Only 2 riders left. Boyd Hilder and Kostya Andreev, and Kostya's in now.
There's that 360 double tail whip to tuck no-hander. Double bar spin over the hip. Nice looking switch. Downside tail whip. Look at that. Bar spin on, bar spin off. Tail whip over the wedge. Stylish looking toboggan over the hip.
That was lovely, wasn't it?
Love that 270 tuck no-hander. Really holding his hands off. Look at that. 270 down whip to late bar spin. Definitely an improvement on his first run. The tail whip to bar spin over the hip as well. It's definitely an improvement, Ed.
Okay, lining up for the box. What's he got as a big showpiece here? 15 seconds left.
360 down whip to late bar spin. 540 up the step up. Over the roll back. Incredible. He's still got 5 seconds. He can't believe it.
This is huge. Some beautiful tech tricks there to finish.
No way!
Decade over the gap. Was it after time?
Decade over the gap. He didn't realise he still had 5 seconds. He had to roll back in. He still finished with a big trick. The question is, does it count?
It just popped down to flat there at the end for the laugh.
Look at that, 270 tail whip. Then just stretching the hands off.
Wow, he covered so much ground. He had so many tricks. There was such a strong variety of tricks.
I love this, look. 270, switched down, went to late bar spin.
Kind of rewound it back in, didn't he?
Yeah, and there's that 360 down whip to late bar spin again. I love the way he improved on his first run by throwing bar spin in a few of those combos.
Got a bit of froth there.
He's had a great final, hasn't he?
He has had he's had a fantastic week. Things have really gone Kostya Andreev's way. The Russian out of St. Petersburg sat, I think, on a very strong score from the judges. This is, for me, that's in the 90s. At the moment, Brandon Lupos in second on a 91.4, Rim Nakamura in first on a 93.2. Boyd Hilda in third on 89.6.
A real chance of a late upset here, Ed.
Huge. And what I'd love to see is Boyd Hilda potentially, oh, there we go, 89.27. Kostya Andreev stays in fourth position. So Boyd Hilda guaranteed a podium spot, but he wants to retain that win from 2019. The defending champion, the only man left to drop here at Simple Session 20 Park Finals. The last run of the weekend. Can he do it?
This is it. The atmosphere is absolutely electric out there. Look at that, the opposite truck up the step up. He's got so much to give. The young Australian rider.
Everything.
Look at that, high-speed lines. Look at this, big gap. Oh, he only just got on the double peg, and he knows it.
Oh, look, and he's letting it go. I think Boyd Hilda is officially spent. We talked about it. The fact that even if you can do it talent-wise, if you can ride street and park, physically, it is such hard work for the week.
Yeah, it's beyond demanding. Not only to go out there and do 2 runs, but the fact he's done 4 in the past couple of hours is incredible.
Look at that big whip over the box. This means that Rim Nakamura has the ultimate 18th birthday present. The young Japanese rider will celebrate his 18th birthday with a win here at Simple Session 20. Boyd Hilda, despite his best efforts, cannot defend his 2019 victory here in the Saku-Surhall Arena. So he celebrates with a beautiful, stylish whip.
Yeah, incredible scenes here in this packed-out stadium. These riders, like I said earlier, barely ever get to ride in front of crowds like this. And not only crowds like this arena is just creates such a good atmosphere.
And we've said it before, but there you go, Daniel Dares leading the singing there. Rim Nakamura couldn't have dreamed of this morning. And yet here he is, the fairy tale win. So Boyd Hilda, that first run scores enough to keep him in third place. Nyquist and Dares stood next to the young gun Rim Nakamura there. 40-year-old and a 34-year-old. Congratulating the young Japanese rider. Your winner of BMX Park at Simple Session 2020 is Rim Nakamura. A fantastic run packed with tricks, Baz.
It was unbelievable. What an incredible birthday present for the young rider. And you see Brandon Lupos and the other riders there just so happy for him. Even though Brandon was knocked off of the top spot, showing such a positive attitude there by congratulating his young friend. Absolutely amazing scenes here at Simple Session.
Pretty rad to see all the street riders coming in. You got Justin Spreet, Courage Adams, all the boys.
To win the 20th anniversary must mean the absolute world to him, eh?
Well, he's been coming here for a while now, since he was 15. So to do it, he knows better than anyone what it takes to win here. So that is going to be an absolute dream come true for him. Check out these highlights from run 2 though. For me, I mean, that was the biggest disappointment. Nyquist absolutely sending it and then getting ripped off on his last trick.
Yeah, he rode so good. He got so unfortunate to crash his last trick. But a few of the riders had the same problem tonight. They did such good runs and then just couldn't hold their concentration right away to finish their run. But look at that tuck no-handed cash roll pulled perfectly by Brandon Lupos.
He wanted that, didn't he? He really wanted that.
I thought he was going to come out and absolutely take the win, you know, with the way he started that run, but just got unfortunate, didn't he, with that crash.
It's that quad whip, the consistency on that from Irek Rizaev, just phenomenal.
Kostya really impressed me too. His both runs were absolutely perfect.
So let's take a look at those final standings. Rim Nakamura, the birthday boy, in first. Brandon Lupos, despite his best efforts, can only get second. Boyd Hilda, no repeat for him. Kostya Andreev, fantastic second run, put him into fourth. Daniel Dares from 11th to 5th. That was spectacular. Disappointment for Irek Rizaev, though. Second and fourth in 2018 and 19, respectively. Could only make 10th here this time. He will go home disappointed. What a phenomenal final, though. We can go down course side with Amy Fuller, who is with our winner, Rim Nakamura, now.
Rim, congratulations, simple session winner 2020. How does it feel to win this iconic event?
This is my first time podium for the simple session. I'm so stoked. Best birthday ever.
And how are you going to celebrate your birthday and this magnificent win tonight?
I already got to party last night, but of course I got to party tonight.
So 2 nights of partying in Estonia?
Yes, can't wait.
Epic. We'll have an absolutely fantastic night, and congratulations once again.
So Rim Nakamura is going to bask in the glory of this win for a while, Baz, and what a way to start the year for him.
Yeah, deservedly so. You know, he said he messed up his first run, but he had so much focus going into his second run, and to get the win out there was incredible tonight with all the amazing riding that went down.
Well, we've seen it time and again. 20 years of simple session, and the pedigree of the riders never ever dipped. And exactly as you said at the start of the show, in front of this many people, everyone rises to the occasion.
Yeah, exactly right, Ed, and we always see the level pushed up a notch year on year out. 20 years of this now, and yeah, to win the 20th anniversary, the young Japanese rider will be so happy with that.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break now, and then we'll be back with some analysis. So that is it for BMX Park Finals here at Simple Session 20, and Baz, no shortage of things to talk about. What an insane final.
It had everything, didn't it? The riding level was so high, and the fact that Rim knocked Brandon off the top spot, it was high drama, wasn't it?
Yeah, we can take a look back at some of the runs now, podium spots. The first person to talk about, Boyd Hilda in 3rd position. I think we talked about him running out of steam towards the end there, but his 3rd place run, he was very, very close with this.
Yeah, I love Boyd's run tonight. He had speed, style, so many variety of tricks. Check that out, that huge gap to double peg that he seemed to look like he had no control over, but somehow it worked out every time.
I think that was the gnarliest thing I saw tonight, in my book.
Guys, like, if he'd have crashed that, it would have been a really ugly looking crash, let me tell you.
Well, it was full commitment, and he did it 4 times. Did it twice in street and twice in park.
Just look how fast he pedals around that course.
And no one else had that transfer.
No, he had so many original lines. He definitely deserves to be on the podium tonight, but that's for sure.
Yeah, judges got that one right, 100%. Oh, and I love this. Came straight out of that. Finished up over in the corner there. That little fishtail into the foot jam. So Boyd Hilda in third place. The big surprise though, and I saw the look on your face when he came out with his run, was Brandon Lupos.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that Brandon has so many tricks up his sleeve, and to come out swinging with that backflip triple tail whip, I was like, here we go, this is the Brandon Lupos show. We saw that front flip over the driveway.
And it looked crisp, didn't it? He's really finishing everything.
Yeah, I didn't think anyone would be able to top this run. It was so good. Look at that triple tail whip over that hip.
Finding height where no one else could.
And then check this out. Massive cash roll over the box. No one else opting to try that trick. And he was looking unstoppable at this point.
Setting the bar very, very high. Brandon Lupos almost looked unbeatable by the end of this run, didn't he? I was starting to think that maybe he'd done enough, even in the first run.
Yeah, absolutely. He did that cash roll, the backflip triple tail whip, some of the biggest tricks in our sport. He ran out of steam a little bit towards the end of his run, but I don't think it hurt his score because he still had a full 60-second pull.
But it was to be this man who spoiled Lupos' party, Rim Nakamura, on his 18th birthday. I can't wait to see this back through because the intensity and the urgency of the run, start to finish, was off the chart.
Yeah, we saw that switch bar spin up onto the box, and then the opposite tail whip into that steep wedge. He was out of control here. Look at that triple truck over the hip. Backflip bar spin with the turn down late.
No one else had that height over the hip. He was a full meter and a half higher than anyone else.
Yeah, and look at that double tail whip on that wedge. Flare bar spin, that trick is really difficult. We saw Eirik crashing twice on that exact quarter pipe. Look at that 270 tail whip landing smooth. He just carried on throughout the whole run, throwing trick after trick after trick, and they were all different. Really good variety of his tricks.
Well, I think it's fair to say, after that final, the well of adrenaline has run dry. It definitely has for me. I don't know about you, Baz.
I really, really enjoyed watching. Like I said, when Brandon did that first run, I didn't think anyone could knock him off. And the fact that we had the high drama of Rim going out there on his birthday and just stomping that run, it was unbelievable.
So fairy tale finish for the 18-year-old. If you haven't had it enough bike action, then be sure to check out the Red Bull Bike channel. You can download the app for free. And that means that you can enjoy all of the best bike events, films and shows. You can sign up and download your favourite content, and you can watch it offline, anytime, anywhere. Well, that means that we're done here at Simple Session 20, and it has lived up to the billing. A fitting event for a fitting anniversary. Baz, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. It's been incredible, the 20th anniversary.
Okay, I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. We'll see you for 21.